Hey guys, just coming at you with an overhead view of the piles. Don't worry, it's not going to be shaky like this in the main reading. I'll put it on the tripod. So the first pile is the Tarot of the New Vision, and it's that peacock feather there. The second pile is the Wheel of the Year Tarot, and those two flowers. And the third pile is the Tarot Illuminati, and that flower there. So do your thing, pick your pile. I'm going to be back to show you the boxes because sometimes that helps you choose your pile. Today we are asking, what do your ancestors think about you? Royal family, welcome to my channel. I am the pick a card Empress, and today we are looking at what do your ancestors think about you. So how the reading is going to flow, I'm going to go in my little family tree chart. We're going to see which ancestor is coming through, and then we're going to look at what do they think about you. If they had to give you words of advice right now, what would it be? And what are they most proud of you? What are they most proud of with regard to you? So in the extended, we're going to look at what do your ancestors think about your person of interest, your romantic partner. And we'll use basically the same format. Okay, so let's go. So the first pile, it is this peacock brooch here. And this is the box Tarot of the New Vision. The second pile is these flowers. And we have Tarot of the Wheel. I think this was donated, so I always write who did it. So let me just lift that up. Oops. And the third pile is this flower Tarot Illuminati. And this is the box. Okay. So do your thing, pick your pile, and I'll be back to tell you what your ancestors think about you. See you in a bit. Hey, pile one, if you chose the Tarot of the New Vision and the peacock feather, this is going to be a reading. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to see which ancestor is coming through. Now, I learned a modality called opening and clearing the family tree. And there's this chart. So we're going to see which ancestor is coming through here. Now, Spirit, is this ancestor from the father side or the mother side? It's from your dad's side. Okay. And which ancestor is this? It is your great-grandmother. Great-grandmother from your father's side. Ancestor number 8. Great-grandmother from your father's side. All right. So let's see what your great-grandmother from your father's side wants to say. All right, so let's tap into their energy just a little bit because listen, not all ancestors are high vibrational ancestors, okay? So we need to know who we're working with here and if we can accept their word as truth or if we have to take what they're saying with a grain of salt, okay? Or read between the lines. Let's see. Let's tap into the energy of this great grandmother. All right, let's see her energy generally. We have the Merlin and we have alchemy, justice, and balance. So what I get from this is a spiritual vigilante. No, oh my God, yeah, spiritual vigilante. This is a person where if they see what they perceive to be a wrong, an injustice, something that is unbalanced, and they don't care who it is. This could be strangers. Once it's a perceived injustice, they are going to go into their little workstation and spiritually they're going to set things in motion to restore balance, okay, as far as they see it, right? So we have a spiritual vigilante. So it's someone who very highly skilled in the spiritual arts. It's an alchemist. It is a magician, right? Someone who is very wise, and they see themselves as justice. They see themselves as justice, and that they are there to restore balance by any means necessary. All right, what do we have here? We have the energy of death. Now, death is about alchemy because with death comes transformation. Death brings new beginnings. Yes, there's a deconstruction of the old, but there's new beginnings that unfold from that deconstruction. So this person could have been a Scorpio, right? Because Scorpio brings that energy, the destruction for something new. Person could be an Aries, right? So anything that's related to Plutonian energy, this is the energy of justice. And Scorpio and Aries have a highly developed sense of justice once they are operating in their most ascended aspect, right? When they're in their shadow aspect, a totally different scenario. But when they're in their most ascended aspect, they have a highly developed sense of justice. And there's nothing that they won't do to try and restore the balance of things, right? They will go all out. They will go all out. Let's see the energy towards you. I'll pull some cards, but I think that's what we're getting there for sure. With that spiritual vigilante energy, that's what I'm getting. Someone that goes all out. So if something has to be destroyed, they're going to do it. All right, their energy towards you. We have bravado and we have warrior guides. And this fits in perfectly with what we were saying about the energy generator, right? Spiritual vigilante, spiritual warrior. So what I get from this is this particular ancestor is what we call a gatekeeper guide, right? They are the ones that stand in the gap, right? And they will say who can pass, who can pass through that spiritual door, that spiritual boundary, and who stays out, and who might be punished if they decide to take up arms against you, right? So this ancestor, they're not fucking around, right? We have bravado. I'm gonna read it because bravado is sometimes seen as false courage or whatever, and it's a mask. But no, this ancestor, they don't mess about. They don't mess about. So this is a protector guide, a gateway guide, a warrior guide. They also act as the intermediary between the other guides and yourself and other persons that might approach you spiritually. So they are protector guide, guardian, right? So they're not messing about. Let's get some cards on these, but I think I'm on the right track with the message that I need to bring to you today. And because they are your warrior guide, I feel like there might be warnings in here. All right, 7 of Pentacles in reverse. All right, now when it's in reverse, they're telling you don't invest in something. So if there's some sort of investment opportunity, like a literal investment opportunity that's coming your way, they're telling you to read the fine print. If it is a new love relationship, they're telling you proceed with caution. Let's see death card. Right. So as I said, somebody that is very wise, and they're always looking out for the enemies, right? The frenemies, these people the snakes in the grass. See the snake at this person's feet here? And they're the ones that crush the snake, right? So as I told you, very, very wise, and always they're always on the watch, right? They're not just on night watch, they're always on the watch, always looking out for you, right? So they let you know there's nothing to fear. 9 of Swords in reverse, right? They are justice. Now the energy towards you, warrior guide, right? Taking you safely away from any kind of situation that may have hurt you. They're responsible for the extractions, right? And lifting you out of any situation. And this person's main goal is to make sure that you have the life that you deserve, that you are able to create a family, whether it's you and a fur baby or whatever it is. Their happiness, they've taken it upon themselves that your happiness is their responsibility, and their happiness is your happiness, right? So it's someone that has your best interests at heart, right? Your best interests at heart. Now, let's ask your great grandmother, what do they think about you? I'm going to add something here because I always write out a little template. I want to, let me put, what do they want you to know? Because I think that needs to come through. Just in case there's any other message that may not be pertinent to you. All right. What do they think about you? We have the Five of Cups. Oh, their heart is breaking, and their heart is breaking because they see that you are hurting. You're still grieving something that didn't quite work out. And even though, because maybe somebody walked away, or maybe somebody chose someone else over you. There's some sort of missed opportunity here, right? They see that you're still there in a state of grief. These people, it looks like, well, you perceive that they have moved on, right? They've walked away, that they've moved on, and they've left you here with a broken heart. So they perceive that you are still grieving, and it hurts their heart because remember, your happiness is their happiness. What do they think about you? They think that you are so creative, but you are hiding your light under a bushel. I don't know if this person might have been religious. I don't know. Hiding your light under a bushel when you're meant to be like a way shore for people. So they see you as you keeping yourself small, or you playing down your talents for some reason. Let's see what else is coming through. They may also think that you might be waiting for somebody to reach out. And again, somebody turning their back again and walking away. All right, so there's a story here that is unfolding. We see Six of Wands. You putting on a brave face, but they may also see you as a high achiever, and they're very proud of that. And then we have the wheel, right? The wheel will turn. Okay, so two messages coming through. Messages about what they think about you, and then there's also a message coming through about you and maybe a lost love, or maybe a missed work opportunity even. But I don't get that. I see people walking away. I feel it's like a lost love. So, all right, what do they think about you? They see that you're someone, you're grieving. There's something that you're grieving, and you put on a brave face for the world, and they admire that you can do that. But really, in your heart, there's a lot of grief that you carry around. They see you as incredibly creative, but still holding back. You've not reached the fullness of your creativity, and the Page of Wands also is also like a spiritual initiate. Okay, it's a spiritual initiate. So someone who has the potential for being very powerful spiritually, and it feels like you have inherited some of your ancestor spiritual gifts. They see you as not fully walking that path or embracing that energy fully as yet. But they're letting you know that if you do decide to embrace that path, there's a lot of notoriety, and good notoriety too, that's going to come to you. And if you do decide to embrace that path, then letting you know you're going to be on path to fulfilling your destiny in this life. So it feels like for Power 1, You're meant to be a spiritual leader, spiritual powerhouse. In fact, you are a spiritual powerhouse, but you are only that, like, you just testing the waters. You only have your little toe in the waters when you're meant to um gradually jump in this thing, because you have inherited a lot of spiritual gifts through your ancestry. Now, they also want to tell you about a love situation, right? They see you grieving for a partner that may have walked away, and they may have walked away with somebody else. Okay? They still see you still holding on to that situation, right? And still waiting for a message from this person. You're still waiting for a restart, a new beginning. You're waiting for this connection to come back around. Okay, you're putting up a brave face, right? But you're waiting for this connection to come back around. That lets you know that it is going to come back around, right? But you're not to stay here and wallow in this grief or get stuck in this grief. There's so many other things that you're meant to achieve, but they're saying this connection is going to come back around. Okay. Your ancestor also sees you as a high achiever, right? And they're giving you your flowers where that is concerned, right? They're very, very proud of that, but they're letting you know that this is just the beginning, and your path in this life lies in walking is a spiritual journey, a deeply spiritual journey, right? With regard to you, what are they most proud of? We have 10 of Wands. Oh my, you've been through it. We have Queen of Wands in reverse. That's a karmic energy. So that might be a love relationship. We have Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, the Queen of Wands, when she's in reverse, this is someone who abuses their power, okay? So we're talking about maybe you've been through a relationship where your partner was abusive, whether they verbally, physically, financially, emotionally, and it feels like emotional abuse as well, because we have the Queen of Cups in reverse and she's emotionally abusive. She can be very emotionally detached and emotionally manipulative. So it feels like in your past you've been through a lot. Okay, you've been through a lot. You've had people misjudge you. You've had people talk about you, gossip about you, maybe try to assassinate your character. Okay, and people really kind of beating you up, trying to tear you down. But you never let that stop you. And you persevered. So what they're most proud of is your grit and your strength and your courage to keep on keeping on despite everything that has happened. And it looks like a lot has happened, right? For some of you, there may have been court judgments that did not go in your favor. So for some of you, you may have faced incarceration or fines, and that may have put a financial burden on you. But through all of that, you keep on trucking. You keep on trucking. And they're very proud of that. You've not let life or other people beat you down. So they're most proud of your grit. What do they call grit now? Adversity intelligence. Is that what it is? One second. I think that's what they call it now. Let me just make sure, because I hate to circulate inaccurate information. Your AQ, correct. So sorry, adversity quotient. Yes, correct. Adversity quotient is AQ, right? Adversity quotient. Yeah, so that's what they're most proud of. You've been through it all, and you are still going. If they no, what's the most important message? No, let me ask it as I have it. What do they want you to know? If they could pass on a message to you right now, what would they want you to know? We have 9 of Pentacles reverse, and that's a card of codependency, addiction, toxic traits and habits. We have 7 of Cups in reverse, clarity. We have 9 of Wands in reverse. And that could talk about vulnerability. Could talk about giving your power away. And then we have Emperor in reverse, which is a control freak. Or even someone that abuses their power, or someone gives their power away. Okay. So what do they want you to know? You have been getting clarity around, or maybe they want you to get clarity around some dysfunctional ancestral patterns. Now, we already established that you've been through a lot, and for some of you, you've faced domestic abuse or just abusive situations, right? People have taken advantage of you. But this ancestor wants you to know, right, and wants you to be aware that this is not your own personal struggle. This is a struggle of your ancestral line. And a lot of the things that you have had to power through in this life, your ancestors also faced. Also faced persons who wanted to control them. Also faced persons who wanted to abuse them. Also faced persons who wanted to beat them down. Wanted to just destroy them mentally, emotionally, physically. All right, a lot of them were in codependent relationships, right? Gave their power away. They want you to know that this is an ancestral struggle. So any healing that you're doing around these particular issues, it's healing that you're doing for your ancestry and making sure that these patterns or these generational curses aren't visited upon the generations that will come after you. Right? So the work you're doing, it's not just for you. They want you to know that. It's for everyone in your ancestry. Okay? All right. Let's get a last bit of advice from your ancestor, and then we're going to go on to the extended, where we're going to look at what does this ancestor... You know what? Let's ask a different one. No. Let's ask a different one, because it does say, what do your ancestors... You're going to ask a different ancestor. What do they think about your person? Yeah. You're going to ask a different ancestor. Okay. What do they want to tell you? Well, we have a lover. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. So they have some advice about your love relationships. And we have the rhythm maker. And it's about dancing to the beat of your own drum. It's about creativity, going with the flow. Let's see if we can combine that Lover card. It could be that there might be somebody new that is coming in to your life, and you recognize this person because this person might be an artist or someone who, walks to the beat of their own drum just like you. All right, let's see. Rhythm maker. What's this about? In the beginning was the beat. 14 million years ago, the universe began with a beat, a pulsation of energy and matter, and the beat goes on. Rhythms are such a part of life that we tend to overlook how fundamental they are, yet they are with us at all times. Your first experience of rhythm was while you were in your mother's womb. With the rudimentary conscious awareness of physicality came the awareness of rhythm. As you developed, you were continually immersed in rhythms, such as your mother's heartbeat and breath. Those rhythms would fluctuate during those early formative weeks and months. Even now, you cannot help but notice how dominant rhythms are to everyday life. There is a rhythmic dance going on at all times around you and inside you. It is the most elemental experience of being alive. You're feeling out of sync with the natural rhythms of your body and your surroundings. Bring out Being out of sync can create anxiety, confusion, and in its extreme disorientation. Pause for a few minutes, close your eyes, and allow your breathing to be at a natural pace. Step out of time and simply notice your heartbeat and your breathing. Notice how even ordinary physical movements, such as tapping your fingers, nodding your head, or walking, carry with them innate rhythms. Experiment with drumming and dancing. You don't need a drum to create a drumming rhythm, and you don't need to be a professional to move to the beat of your favorite songs. Allow your body to express itself rhythmically through movement and sound, and notice how doing so can shift your feelings. Let go of your inhibitions and let the rhythm flow through you and express as you. As you let go, you'll enter into a different state of consciousness, one where the rhythm of your movement is moving you. So, what I get from this is you may have been stuck in a rut, and whether that is in your professional life, um, family life, love life, maybe you feel like you're at a stalemate. Spirit is telling you that you can shift this energy through rhythm, through song, through dance. That's going to get you back into the flow. So, if you have some free time, they want you to put on your favorite music and dance and just lose yourself in it. Make up your own different choreography or whatever it is, and just allow your body to move and just shift that stale energy that might be around you at this time. And that's going to shift the energy in all areas of your life. The other interpretation of this card is that there's someone that's coming in and you guys might be working on some sort of collaborative artistic project together, because we already know that you're very creative and this person might become very influential in your life. Okay. All right. So if you're able, join me next extended. We're going to look at what your ancestors think about your person. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please put a like. You can put a comment down below. It can be a full stop. It can be a heart. Whatever it is, it all helps with the algorithm and helping our community expand and grow. Take care. Hey pal 2, if you chose the the Wheel of the Year tarot and this flower brooch, this is going to be a reading. So, first we're going to find out which ancestor wants to come through. Okay, so let me go to my family tree clearing charts. And we're going to see which ancestor wants to come through, okay? Now, spirit, is it from the father side or the mother side? We have the father side coming through. And could you tell us who? We have a great grandfather, ancestor number 5. Great grandfather from your father's side coming through to speak to you and give their opinion. All right, so first let's tap into the energy of this ancestor, because not all ancestors are high vibrational ancestors. So we need to know the lens through which this ancestor is seeing things, whether they can be relied upon or whether we have to put on our thinking caps or discernment caps and kind of pick through and see what's real and what's some sort of illusion on their part. Why am I cutting this in four? Don't know. Never did that. Okay. All right, we have focused, and there are a lot of trees in this card. So they're focused on the family. So this is someone who's very family oriented. You know what I'm getting from this card? Just let me get my glasses. I am getting a King of Pentacles vibe, maybe even Emperor vibes from this person, okay? Very nurturing, very loving, taking family seriously, a family man, but also someone who can be a warrior when it's called for. Because look, we see here the arrow, and just at the bottom, an arrow and a shield, right? So it's also someone, hunter-gatherer vibes, right? Hunter-gatherer vibes. Very instinctive, a go-getter, may have even been someone who may not have walked the straight and narrow, maybe even someone who is a pioneer. They did something differently, so they may have even been famous in the community, okay? Because this is someone who's not afraid to branch out and do something different. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's a disruptor. This person is a disruptor. I don't get the negative aspect with this because of that King of Pentacles card below. I think this is someone who's not afraid to challenge the status quo, especially if the status quo does not reflect their own personal politics and principles. And then we have a card number 39, which reduced to 12. And 12 is about a higher perspective. So this person, they're not talking from a place of being misinformed at all, right? This person, quite informed, quite enlightened, and allowing everything that flows from them to come from that place of love and wisdom, right? So disrupting old patterns and firstly, oh sorry, I didn't turn this off. Allowing firstly your parents and grandparents, giving them that inspiration to be free, to be quirky, to be eccentric, right? So you might have a lot of eccentrics in your family, or a lot of people that don't follow the status quo, doing their own thing. And it's because this person laid the groundwork. So I feel like the people watching this pile, you might be a disruptor yourself. That was the card, wasn't it? Why am I going back for another one? Oh my goodness. Let me get it back. Come back. Guys, give me a second. Maybe I am supposed to get another card. I'll do that. I will be obedient. But let's get that card because that's the main card there. What have I done with it, guys? I'll find it back in a moment. In fact, let me find it. Yeah. Okay. Let's get another card for them. And then we have burden. Okay. But I think these two go together. I think, you see, when we think about burdens, we think about 10 of Wands energy, do we not? And the 10 of Wands energy can also be, or baggage. It can be unhealthy ancestral patterns. It can be ancestral karma, generational curses, that kind of thing. Okay, so it feels like this person that we're tapping into is the first person that disrupted that generational trauma, that generational curse. So, and it feels like they're passing on this baton to you. They may have had to surrender. So I think they began the work, but they didn't finish. So it feels like you are the one that's meant to finish what they started. I'm going to pull cards on that, but I think I'm heading in the right direction. You always know when you're heading in the right direction in tarot. And when the story just flows, because the tarot will always tell you a cohesive story. And the energy towards you is decisions, higher self. All right, so you have some big decisions to make, okay? And it's in love. The heart is right there, right in the middle, and we have three people in this thing. So people watching, maybe you're in some kind of third party situation, or there's some kind of tug of war in your heart. It could be between love and your career, family and your career, something like that, right? So two imperatives, fighting for prominence, within your energy field, within your psyche. The energy towards you. We have boredom and we have spirit teachers. All right. So I think that they see that you are stagnated right now, or you're searching for something fresh, something new, and they're coming to give it to you. This is their role. They're coming to give it to you, and what they're giving you is love. For some of you, you guys may be a single mother, a single parent, okay, and maybe what you think might be missing, or maybe it's not missing. Maybe you think it will enhance your life, some romantic love. Okay, so it feels like they're coming through with some sort of destined love relationship. And I say destined because there are a lot of stars in this card, and they're also feathers, right? So that makes me always think of synchronicity, the influence of spirit, and the different signs that we have that guide us to our destiny. So this person here, they're meant to help you break through whatever stalemate energy you might be experiencing at this time. And it feels like that stale energy, that stagnant energy is happening in your love life. Because we got that decisions card below, it feels like you're going to have options. And they're here to help you choose the best one. Or they're providing you with these options. Okay. Underneath the deck, we have justice in reverse, and that tells us about a karmic cycle. Or because we're talking about ancestral karma, maybe there's a karmic cycle that your ancestry has been trapped in, where their relationships are either one-sided or unrequited, or just unbalanced. One person doing all the labor. Okay. All right. So they're meant to disrupt that. Spirit, tell us about this disruption card. We have Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So this person may have been the first person that said, you know what? If this person's not loving me, if this person's just emotionally manipulating me, like fuck off. Right? Maybe it could have even been the first person in your line that actually filed for a divorce or decided to stay single or something like that. There's some sort of disruption with that cycle, because Queen of Cups in reverse, remember, she's emotionally manipulative and she does not know how to love. Right? She does not know how to love. What she feels is love is obsession and attachment. And we have here the Four of Wands. So maybe this person may have been the first to leave another relationship and go after their heart. Sort out something that was real. Had to leave something behind. Six of Swords. Had to, allow this big, massive destruction in the family tree because they weren't happy. Let's see this burden. So it looks like this is one of the first persons in your family line to truly step into self-love. Yeah, they had to end things. And it was really devastating for the family. And when we think about great-grandparents and the era that they lived in, something like a divorce or leaving your family behind may have been really frowned upon, and they may have had a hard time, especially if people found out that it was because of another partner or whatever it is. Okay. So anyway, they're here to help you with your boredom. Looks like you're bored in your love life. Okay. Yeah. Hermit in reverse. You're looking to come out of your shell. You're looking to get back out there. You're looking to date again. And they're here to help. They are here to help. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. You're going to make decisions about where you're going to invest your energy. For some of you guys, maybe you want to be a parent, right? So they're going to help you with this partner finding business. Okay. Yeah. Because maybe in the past, you've had to deal with people who just couldn't show up for you. And Knight of Swords is also the pathological liar. People who were strangers to the truth. So this is someone they're feeling very protective of you. So they're taking a very hands-on approach to your dated life. This is the chaperone. Okay? Your spiritual chaperone. All right. So part one was spiritual warrior. You are the spiritual chaperone. All right. So what does this ancestor think about you? We have Temperance. Oh my God. They see that you have just been refined in the fire. Look at you depicted as this very whimsical energy. I mean, you are everything that they wish they could be or they could have been, because they see you as being free. Free to love, free to express yourself, free to be whoever you want. Maybe some of you guys are into cosplay, right? Um, they just see you as absolutely grounded and doing just so well in every, or rather every other area of your life. And they're just proud of you. What do they think about you? Eight of Cups. Okay. It looks like someone may have broken your heart, right? Someone may have walked away from you, or maybe you had to walk away from someone. So they see all of that. For some of you, you may have been battling addictions, okay? And then you finally went and you got help. So they see that. We have Page of Swords, right? They also know that you are looking out there and trying to figure out who or what is out there for you. They see you as a pioneer. They also see you as someone who is very balanced in their masculine and feminine energy. This is what I get from this card. I mean, we see the skirts and so on, but then we have that leather and the helmet and the knife and the sword and the cannons, right? They may also see you as very defensive. Your defenses are well fortified. Right? You have the cannons there, right? So you are ready for anything. And they also see you as someone who might be hypervigilant because you've been hurt in the past, and you'll be going to be damned if somebody is going to come and break your heart again. So as much as they see you as, just so soft, and loving and caring, they know that you have armor around your heart right now because of what may have happened in the past. And they don't judge you for that. What do they think about you? Knight of Wands in reverse. They see you as someone that's very decisive. They do. And once you commit yourself to something, you see it through. And sometimes to your detriment. Sometimes to your detriment, because sometimes we're meant to fail at certain things. We're meant to fail at certain relationships. We're meant to fail at certain jobs, right? Because it does not serve us. But you are determined. You persevere until, you just hit that brick wall. You just hit that brick wall. You get so hurt that you have to give up. But before you get to that point, you go through it. You go through it. So you ain't no wishy-washy kind of person, right? You are stable and grounded, and they think that you deserve a partner who is willing to commit to a relationship just as much as you are willing to commit. So they are intent that you will get the partner that you deserve. This is what this ancestor is here for. With regard to you, what are they most proud of? When they look at you, what are they most proud of? What makes this ancestor smile, puff out their chest? Yeah, that's my baby, right? What are they most proud of? And we have the Emperor in reverse. And because it's what they're most proud of, it feels like you have recognized or you have integrated, the serenity prayer. Give me the wisdom to accept the things that I can't control. Yeah, and the wisdom to know the difference. Whatever it is, right? So you've released control of something in your life, and you're just kind of going with the flow, right? And they're very proud of that, because some of the things, as I told you before, that you were holding on to, you were meant to release a long time ago. What are they most proud of? We have judgment in reverse, right? They see you as someone who is non-judgmental, someone who is embracing, all-inclusive, and someone who champions the rights of others. It doesn't mean that this thing doesn't affect you. Once it affects somebody else, you're going to be there. So they see you as maybe this human rights lawyer. Why am I saying lawyer? I was going to say warrior. Maybe you are a lawyer, right? But you don't sit quietly whilst other people may be suffering. It may not affect you, but it's affecting somebody, right? This is someone that's open. You have no judgment. You have no judgment. You recognize that people are people everywhere, and people make mistakes. People are human. What else are they proud of? So all major arcana, by the way. Oh, Two of Cups. Okay. So it feels like there might be a relationship right now that they do approve of. Okay. Or maybe there's a relationship that is coming in. But I think what they're proud of is the way that you're able to give of yourself in a relationship. You are relationship ready. Yeah, right now. Right now, you are relationship ready. And you're not going to let the judgments and opinions of others keep you back from finding and embracing new love. Why am I saying new love? Well, love. Maybe it is new love. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. What are they most proud of? You've come a long way. You have come a long way, because the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, she can be quite possessive. She can be jealous, and jealousy and possessiveness always comes from a place of insecurity. So it feels like you've done a lot of work around that, and they want you to know that they see you. They see you how far you've journeyed, and they are proud of you. Okay? Now, is there anything that they feel that you need to know right now? What's the most important thing that they think that you need to know? We have Ace of Cups in reverse. We have the Chariot. We have the Nine of Pentacles reverse. I feel like that needs to go there. This is a journey. And then we have this King of Cups. That lets you know that you're moving on up, right? You have battled your addictions. You have battled your lack of self-love. You've battled your codependencies. Um, you've battled giving yourself away, right? Or doing anything for validation. You've battled all of that. You've moved on from that. And because you've moved on from that, you are attracting a partner who is also relationship ready. So this is what's coming in if it's not here already. You are attracting a partner that is relationship ready. Now, if they could give you some words of advice right now, what would it be? Now, in the extended, if you have someone in your life right now, we're going to ask for another ancestor to come through and find out what they think about your person. What do they think about your person? All right, we have gardener, right? So Spirit saying you're going to have the opportunity to start a fresh start, to plant new seeds, okay? Big changes coming in your life. So be careful what you sow, because what you sow is what you'll reap. So it feels like this is about love. So the foundation that you lay for this new relationship, or this relationship that's coming back around, whatever you plant there is what is going to grow, right? So if you plant a lack of boundaries and you let this person do whatever they want, that's exactly what will continue. Whatever you allow, whatever you plant, will continue. So they want you to know that. So be very careful of the foundation that you are setting in this new relationship or new incarnation of this relationship. You set the standard for how people need to treat you. All right, we have here Earth, and we have Life Giver, and this feels like the Empress, but this is about all good things grounded. And look how much green in there. So that's about love. It's also about prosperity, money, right? So it feels like and then Life Giver. So for some of you, you might be giving birth, like literally giving birth. So let's see what this is all about. What do they want you to know? What's this advice? Life Giver. Okay, here it is. It is with the substance of this very planet, sometimes referred to as Mother Earth or Grandmother Earth, that all physical life is created. She has many names in different cultures, yet all imply the fundamental characteristic as life giver. She is a supreme alchemist, working her miracles every moment and every day by collaborating with the primordial ancestors in the continual dance of death, birth, and resurrection, flowing along in the wondrous and tempestuous dance of effortless creation. The cycle of creation always implies the component of death, acknowledging the contributions of all that came before in order to nourish the beings that are birthed into physical reality. So your person started this disruption, and you are grounding this disruption or this massive change in your family line and those that are yet to come. In some traditions, offerings and prayers are made before planting season, as everyone waits until there's a clear communication from Earth that it's time to get to work. And we just saw that gardener. When the time is right to plant, she lets us know. So this is Spirit letting you know that it's time to plant or cultivate a fresh relationship. When the time is right to release a physical form through death, she will let us know. And the message is, you have forgotten your communication to the natural world as you have found yourself obsessively preoccupied with the mundane human made world. It's time to make a radical shift to deeply appreciate your intimate connection with Mother Earth that has been lost along the way. Walk outside to remember this. Bring to your awareness the miraculous phenomenon of this existence, of simply experiencing the presence of life itself, expressing as you, not through you, but as you. Pause and direct your attention to the natural world. Breathe in the gift of the air. Feel the subtleness of your connection to the earth mother through the etheric roots extending from the soles of your feet deep into her belly. Look up to the sky. Witness the star nation tonight. Notice the other primordial ancestors as they collaborate with the Mother Earth to regenerate each new day's unique blend of nature's fluid tapestry. Walk softly on her belly while barefoot, especially in the spring when she's pregnant and in the process of giving birth to tens of thousands of her children. So Spirit is saying maybe, your ancestor is saying that if there's something that you are trying to ground right now, if there's something that you're trying to create right now, if you're feeling any kind of stuck energy with that, it is because you are disconnected or you're ungrounded. Okay? So for most of you, it's now summer where you're at. Get outside once it's safe to do so. There's some places they're not safe. Okay, you're having floodings, wildfires, that kind of thing. Get outside once it's safe to do so. And once it's safe to do so, try to walk barefoot. If you're able to meditate in nature, again, once it's safe, please do so, because they're saying that you've disconnected yourself from earth energy. And without that, nothing can ground. Okay? All right. So if there's someone in your life right now, we're going to see what your ancestors think about that person. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Take care. Bye. Hey, pal 3, if you chose Tarot Illuminati and this flower, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing we're going to do, we are going to identify which ancestor is going to come through to talk to you about what they think about you. Okay, so let us go. I have some charts that I use for clearing the family tree, and one of the charts lets me know which ancestor wants to give me information. So we're going to use that chart today. So Spirit, for pile 3, who wants to come through? Is it on the father side or the mother side? It's on your mom's side. And who is it on your mom's side? And we have a great grandfather. Ancestor number 9, your great grandfather on your mother's side is coming through. All right. You know what I need to do, guys? I need to put on my glasses. Sorry about that. Hold on. Now, everything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. So, because I had to put on my glasses, maybe there's something that this ancestor wants you to see clearly. Anyways, let's tap into the energy of this ancestor, because not all ancestors are high vibrational ancestors. Okay, so we need to see if we can take this person at face value, or if we take what they say with a grain of salt. Oh, we have the dragon. I know dragons are very protective. Listen, you might have something in common with Power 1, because Power 1 had a very fiercely protective ancestor as well. We have power and strength. They don't play. They vanquish the enemy. Now it's a card number 24, which reduced to 6, and 6 about love. So they love you, and anyone that they love is fiercely protected by them, right? And if they have to go scorched earth to do it, That's exactly what is going to happen, right? They're not messing about. All right, let's see. The energy, wise, the owl. Okay, so this is an ancestor that we can definitely listen to. Now, it has deception and we have wisdom. That's the owl. But I think here, what they're trying to convey is that this person in their lifetime, they went through a lot, okay? A lot of betrayal, a lot of deceit, maybe really tough circumstances, abuse. And throughout that lifetime, they gained a lot of wisdom. And it's this wisdom that they use now to assess situations that involve you and other persons in your ancestry and in your family line that's under their charge. Now, the owl is a peculiar creature because it's one of the only creatures. There's probably more. We don't know everything about this earth, and even I don't know everything, right? Um, it it can turn its head 360 degrees. Okay. Therefore, it is getting a holistic or comprehensive view of whatever is happening around it. And because it has all the information, that's what makes the owl so wise. Not just because it's perching up in the tree, which also gives him a different vantage point as well, right? So geographically, yes, also getting a higher perspective up there, but it's also because of the wisdom that the owl possesses, because they have information. Okay, so this is also an ancestor that's very vigilant, very vigilant, and they don't really make a determination unless they have all the information. That's how they were in life, and that's how they are in ancestorhood. Now, let's see their energy towards you. I'm going to pull more cards on that, but this is what I'm getting intuitively. Their energy towards you. We have truth, right? So there's some truth that's already burning inside of you that they want you to acknowledge. And this truth is going to pave the way for a more empowered you. You see you radiating like the sun there? For a more empowered you and a happier you. Okay? So let's see their energy towards you. We have psychic awareness and it says divine soul. And I'm pairing it with that energy that we got underneath the deck because we saw that light burning bright. What they want to bring to your attention is that you have a lot of spiritual gifts, incredibly psychic, right? You have discernment, right? They had to go through a lifetime before they have the kind of discernment that you have. Okay, you have discernment and it is unfolding here. You've been through some sort of spiritual journey. I see you emerging from the muck, emerging as this lotus here. And you have your intuition here to guide you. So they see as someone that's very perceptive. They see as someone who's embracing the spiritual journey. And they see as someone like slowly emerging out of this cocoon. So it feels like maybe they see you about to embark on taking your spiritual wisdom out into the open or broadcasting it in some way, and they are here to help. They are here to help. So I don't know if some of you are thinking about going into some sort of spiritual entrepreneurship or if that's what you're being called to do. Okay, whether as a healer, an intuitive reader, whatever it is, a medium, and whatever, what you don't, could be a Reiki healer, whatever it is, something within the spiritual esoteric arts, and they're here to support you in that endeavor. We have Knight of Swords in reverse. So there's some truth here that you're not acknowledging or you're not seeing. Anyway, let me see. or there could be someone around you that is not genuine, and they may want you to acknowledge that. Okay, Spirit, tell us about the owl as this ancestor's energy generally. We have Death card in reverse. So it's in charge. This person's in charge of a transformation, which makes sense with this Lotus energy. And we have Ten of Pentacles, wanting the best for you. Okay, wanting you to be happy, right? And as I said, they take care of everyone that is under their charge. They're very concerned about the legacy of the ancestral line. Now, their energy towards you. We have Page of Swords in reverse. So there's definitely something that you're not seeing. What is that? Eight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. That talks about stability. Okay. There's something from your childhood. Now, the Page of Swords in reverse is a child who wasn't allowed to express themselves, and particularly verbally, right? Children should be seen and not heard. That kind of story. And it's also a child whose authenticity or authentic self was not validated. So instead of building on this child's natural talents, whoever was responsible for this child, responsible for you, basically mold them into some kind of societal cookie cutter kind of thing, right? And what the child you downloaded from that experience is that your authentic self and your truth is not good enough, or it's not acceptable to society. So you've been hiding your true self away. And maybe part of your true self or authentic self may be the possession of spiritual gifts. Okay? So let me give you a real life example. Even though just about everybody in my family is psychic, for some reason, my parents did not acknowledge that when we were young. So we grew up in a haunted house, and now my parents will acknowledge that it was a haunted house. But when we were younger, and maybe they didn't want to scare us or whatever, there's a lot of psychic things going on in the house, things that I would experience, mostly me, my sister would experience, everybody would experience, to the point where they would call me Ghostbusters. Because there was always something that was going on, right? Like people, like unseen hands massaging your back, all kinds of shit. And when I would tell my parents, they would say it was my imagination. And I thought I was going crazy until one day I heard my mom talking to my great uncle, who was like her dad, because her dad was a twin and her dad died young, right? So this other twin, his twin, became like her father, right? And she was talking to him, and she didn't know I was there. And she said, "You know this house full of ghosts?" That's what she was telling me, no. Same ghost that she was denying was in the house. She's telling my uncle that they're there, right? And again, maybe she didn't want to scare me or whatever it is. But her denying my reality made me think that something was wrong with me and that something was wrong with my gift for a long time. So maybe you've had that experience. Maybe people may have may have said that you were crazy or imagining things or whatever it is. Maybe even send it to a mental institution. Do you know how much people I have met along the way who've been sent to mental institutions because of their belief system, because of their gifts? I'm not saying that everybody that's there does not have an issue. I do believe in neurobiological causes for mental illness. I do believe in that, and I do believe in trauma. But there are also some persons who I believe were misdiagnosed as well. So maybe there's something like that that may have gone on with you. So Spirit is saying it's time to confront that particular pain, right? That particular wound, right? Through working on yourself, and recognize that your gift is meant to be shared with the world. There's a reason why you have it. It's a gift that's meant to be shared, and to, transmute whatever wounding that you may have received here in childhood. Okay. Now, what does your ancestor think about you? So that's their energy towards you. What do they think about you? They think that you're not happy, that you're not living the life that you want. 10 of Cups in reverse. They're thinking that maybe your family system failed you, okay? That they didn't give you enough love and support. And even now, you may feel unloved and unsupported. What else do they think about you? Queen of Wands in reverse. One, they think that you're hiding your light on the bushel, right? That you're not embracing your spiritual gifts as you should. And maybe there's something, there might even be a closed practice that might have been passed on to you, and you are not practicing. Queen of Wands in reverse is also the energy of non-action. But non-action is action, and there are also repercussions for that, right? So they may see you not taking charge of your life or being very passive in your life. And again, there are repercussions that emanate from that. They don't see you as standing in your power, okay? What do they think about you? Oh, you might be self-isolating, okay? They may see you as a loner, but it's not it's not isolation that's not productive, okay? They see that in this isolation that you are learning a lot about yourself. They see that you have gained a lot of wisdom about yourself and about the world too, right? But it feels like there's meant to be a more public mission, and you're kind of shrinking back from that. What else do they think about you? Judgment. Okay, so they admire your judgment. They admire how you have embraced your spiritual awakening. They have admired how you have really powered through your karmic lessons. Okay, really use them as a tool for evolution and for development. So they do admire that, but they feel like overall you're not living up to your fullest potential, and you're not living your fullest life. That's what they think. And remember, this person only wants the best for you. They only want the best for you. They're very protective of you, right? But they feel like you're not living your fullest life, especially here, being alone. It feels like you're going to get more growth by putting yourself out there and maybe even being partnered. Okay? All right. What do they admire most about you? Or when we talk about them being proud of you, what are they most proud of? What are they most proud of? We have the Lovers in reverse. Okay. So it feels like at one point in time, you may have been part of some sort of third party situation, right? But it looks like you've made some sort of judgment call where that is concerned, and spirit is, and your ancestor is approving that decision that you made. So it looks like for some of you guys, you may have issued an ultimatum, or you may have disengaged from this completely. Okay? Whatever it is, whatever boundary that you drew there, your ancestor is approving of it. Okay? You made the right choice as far as they are concerned. What are they most proud of? Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, she is a truth speaker, right? If you want to know the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, You're looking at the Queen of Swords. She is a boundary setter and maintainer. She is going to teach you how to treat her. And if you can't treat her right, she is going to cut you off and cut you out of her life, right? That is what she is about. She puts herself out there, right? So it feels like even though Spirit is asking you, your ancestor would like you to put more of yourself out there, it looks like you've done quite some bit of work around that already, right? But they like how you're straightforward, and what you see is what you get. There's nothing duplicitous about you. What do they like about you? Now we have Nine of Pentacles reverse. Now Nine of Pentacles talks about a lack of self-love. It can talk about being codependent. It can talk about having some addiction or being afraid of being alone, right? So what your ancestor admires about you is how you've powered through this codependent energy and actually embracing being alone, right? And learning the lesson that being alone does not mean that you are lonely. They just don't want you to go to the other end of the extreme where you are isolating yourself and living the life of a recluse, because it feels like there's more lessons for you to learn through your interaction with other people and especially with a romantic partner. Okay? What are they most proud of? The investment that you've done in yourself, and the investments that you've done for yourself, right? Whether it's through your career, your educational qualifications. Some of you guys might actually have a garden, right? Right. But whatever investments or decisions that you've made regarding your future and your life moving forward and the seeds that you've planted, they are very proud of you. Okay. They're very proud of you. Okay. Now, what's the most important message that they want you to know right now about anything or anyone? What's the most important message that they want you to know right now? We have Two of Wands. The world is your oyster. You can have whatever you like. That's the sound they're saying. You can have whatever you like. Whatever you want to manifest, the power is yours. That's what they want you to know. And Two of Wands also talks about a course correction, doing things differently. So if it is that you've been isolating yourself, now it's time to get out there. You've learned everything you need to learn through self-isolation. Now it's time to get out there. What else do they want you to know? No, this is a third time that this Knight of Swords in reverse has come out. Now, for me, the Knight of Swords in reverse is the pathological liar. Okay? It's also someone who is like verbally the master manipulator. Okay? So it feels like Spirit is giving you some kind of warning about somebody like this that is currently in your space or in your energy. I'll pull cards on that. But that's the third time that card has come out. We have Seven of Swords in reverse, and Spirit saying you are about to unmask this person. This person is about to be unmasked and revealed to you. We have Four of Swords. And you're going to be hurt. They're telling you that you're going to be hurt when this person is unmasked because it's someone that's close to you. But Spirit says you're going to be all right, because what it's going to do, it's going to push you into your destiny. It's going to make a decision that you may have been delaying. It's going to make a decision a lot more clearer for you, and you're going to be more decisive as a result of this revelation. Okay? So somebody in your life is going to be unmasked. Let me see if Spirit can tell us who it is. Spirit, please tell us about this Knight of Wands in reverse. Someone that just doesn't change. You've been knocking your head against a brick wall. You've been saying the same things over and over again. And this person is stubborn. They're not changing. Could be a Scorpio. Who's this person? We have Alchemist in reverse, the Magician in reverse. Okay, again, Magician in reverse is the master manipulator. It can also be someone who's abusing their spiritual gifts and might be doing spell work against you. Could be well, this is Mercury energy. Could be a Gemini. Could be a Virgo. And Spirit is saying this is someone that may have had some sort of control or power over you for a while, but it's about to end. When this person is unmasked, you are going to end that cycle for good. So this could be a friend, it could be a romantic love, it could be a family member, right? But they are about to be unmasked by Spirit. Okay? All right. Now, if there's any bit of advice that they can give you at this time, this ancestor, what would that advice be? Now, in the extended, what we're going to ask is, what does this person think about the person that you are romantically interested in at this time? What do they think about that person? So we're basically going to use just about the same format. And then we're also going to look at what's going to be a person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Okay. So we see here musician. So some of you guys have a talent that you've been keeping hidden, right? I remember once you don't use your talents, you lose them, right? So for some of you, it might be song healing. For others of you, you might have a beautiful voice. Others of you, you're a writer, you're a gardener, whatever it is. Whatever is your talent, Spirit is saying it's time for you to put that out there. Put that out there. It's not time to hide it. Because other people are meant to be healed from it. See, and look, we have shaman. So some of you guys have mediumistic gifts, and it says here spirit guide. Some of you guys are meant to be way showers to others, and you can't do that if you are keeping everything inside and you're shutting people out and keeping yourself closed off. Okay? So some of you guys are root workers. Some of you guys high priestesses, spirit release therapists, whatever it is, exorcists, whatever it is, because we have shaman here. You're meant to bring healing to person's spirit. Help them exorcise their own demons. And you can't do that if you're just keeping yourself to yourself. All right, let's see shaman. The word shaman comes from the Enviki tribe in Siberia and means one who sees in the dark or one who knows, which is you, right? And it has become more widely known in the Western world over the last few decades. Though called by different names depending on the culture, Sangoma, Curandera or Corandero, medicine man, medicine woman, the term implies the ability to receive guidance and inspiration through various manifestations of the spirit, such as animals, plants, ancestors, dreams, and journeys into the non-ordinary reality. In doing so, the shaman applies this information for the benefit of the community. The shaman is a healer, teacher, herbalist, philosopher, psychiatrist, and storyteller, all in one. In indigenous communities, they typically carried a breadth and depth of knowledge and wisdom that came from a long-standing tradition and were intimately familiar with both the physical and spiritual realms. One fundamental operating principle in shamanic work is that of direct revelation, which means receiving guidance straight from spirit guides. Lately, many more are being called to shamanic practice as a means to help us remember who we really are and our plans and our place as human beings in relation to all other beings on this planet. And there's a instruction here. It says, due to constrictions that have embedded themselves in your consciousness because of earlier indoctrinations, religious or otherwise, you have come to be skeptical and distrusting of anything to do with receiving guidance and messages from spirit guides. Any number of fears can be activated. Messages that come to you get ignored or rebuked as just your imagination. It's interesting that I told you that story. And others may disapprove of your philosophy and practice that's different from the status quo. Yet, it's time. It's time to learn to trust that the world is alive and enchanted, that imagination is simply the bridge to perceiving a world beyond the ordinary, and that spirit can truly reveal guidance directly with no need for an intermediary. Your powers of discernment are growing in leaps and bounds, such that you can more readily tell the difference between the voice of the ego and the voice of the spirit. Stay the course and get support if needing for opening up this way of life that offers a renewed relationship with Mother Earth and all her children. Remember who you really are and that you are profoundly and intimately related to all beings, both visible and invisible. So this is a call to purpose. It's a call to mission. And Spirit is saying that you already have immense psychic gifts. It may need some molding. You may need some mentoring, but Spirit is saying that the time is now. Okay? The time is now. All right, my love. So that was your reading. If you can join me in extended, that would be amazing. Otherwise, can I ask you to subscribe to the channel and make sure and click on the notification bell so that you are notified when I post new videos. And if you can leave a comment down below, and it can just be an emoji, that will be fine. And it's a beautiful energy exchange, and it helps our channel expand and grow. Okay? All right, take care. Bye.